All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, I'm discussing my top 3 success habits. These are 3 things that I've implemented into my life so that by the age of 21, I've got a business that nearly nets $1 million a year and, has allowed me to live completely free. People ask, are you technically a millionaire? And I really don't know how to gauge that yet. I might be, I might not be. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not. If I look at all the math of like everything that's in the bank accounts and all my assets and everything like that, I'm getting close, but I'm not totally there yet. But then there's some things that aren't measured. So the reason why I'm justifying that is because, there's this whole topic of like millionaire success habits. And, I don't know if I'm a millionaire yet, but I probably will be within, a couple of years at the latest. So I do want to share in this video, some of the habits that have allowed me to, grow in my character, grow in my discipline levels, grow in my intentionality in this life. And have allowed me, in turn to operate and run my business and manage my finances in a way that allows me to grow steadily. So let's start from the top. And these are the more biological things. These are the things that are in charge of your mood and your energy levels. And let's start with the first one, that is sleep. Consistent sleep habits have been absolutely huge for me. And for those of you who may not be super versed in the entrepreneurial space, you may not have heard of this piece of tech before, but I massively recommend what is called an Oura Ring. And you can see the website here on the screen, links in the description. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but they track your sleep. It's this little ring, it's about $300, and you can track your sleep. It'll show you deep, REM, and all these other cycles of sleep that you go through. And you typically think, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, lying in bed, I'm gonna get that amount of sleep. If I'm in bed for about 7 hours, I'm probably getting about 7 hours of sleep. Well, probably not actually. You're probably getting more like 5.5 to 5 hours and 45 minutes or so of sleep if you're in bed for 8 hours. And this ring woke me up to a lot of the really, really bad habits I used to have. Literally, when I first put the ring on, my first night, I got 30 minutes of deep sleep. Now today, I'll just show you a screenshot of one of my better nights. It's typically, an hour and a half to 2 hours of deep, maybe an hour and a half of REM sleep. And what are the roles of each of these sleep cycles? Well, deep sleep restores your body. It's in charge of muscle growth. It's in charge of soft tissue repair. It's in charge of, if you have any wounds or anything that your body's trying to heal up, it will take care of that. If you, don't get enough deep sleep, you're more prone to different physical effects like, even diabetes, some forms of cancer potentially, as well as, losing different, like hair loss earlier in life, poor mood, poor energy, poor physicality. You're not that athletic at that point. It's easier to put on weight, all kinds of issues like that. And then REM sleep is in charge of mental. It's in charge of keeping your head level. It's in charge of making sure that your brain is ready to solve problems and is ready to take in inputs throughout the day and create valuable solutions to problems throughout the day, which is probably the most important thing you're going to do if you're really wanting to grow your net worth and wanting to be, a good business owner or, achiever of any kind. So deep and REM sleep mixed are really, really important. And my biggest tip is either get an Oura Ring or get a Whoop band. There's a lot of different offers out there in terms of tracking your sleep, and just track it. Just put it on. And a lot of people, they get poorer results when they have the thing on because, they're tracking it and they overthink it and they don't really sleep naturally because they're thinking about this ring the whole time. Well, try and get over that. Just get used to it. Make it a habit. When you brush your teeth at night, have the Oura Ring, on your, bathroom sink, and just take it off right before you brush your teeth, put it on, and then go to bed and don't even think about it, right? And then check your phone the next morning, see how you did. It gives you this main score at the top called your readiness score. I typically have about 78 to like 82. I range around there, and on good days, I'll get like an 85 or an 88. On poor days, I'll get like a 69 to a 72. I know people, and I frankly bought one for my girlfriend. I'm curious to see how she will do, but I know people who get like a 55 to 60 readiness score, which means they're just not ready for the day. And a lot of people live like that, and they don't even realize what they're missing out on, not getting good sleep every night. And it doesn't have to be an Oura Ring. Honestly, if you just go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time and don't eat prior to bed, you're going to do really, really well for yourself. I guarantee it. Eating before bed, alcohol before bed, anything like that, horrible, horrible idea. So that's the first one, is sleep. Making sure that your sleep is on track. There was a longitudinal study of people that ate well and exercised well but didn't sleep well versus people who slept fine and ate like average people, you know, high caloric intake, not the best, and didn't exercise that much. And in terms of their mood, satisfaction levels, and even in some cases their athleticism, like how far they could run and such, the people who slept more outperformed many of the people who exercised and ate well. So it's a really, really important element of keeping your health and your mental health, your physical and your mental health in place as you move forward. So sleep is huge. The next thing on my list is content intake. And this is why I've spent personally, again, I'm only 21 and a lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but I really am. And I've spent over $80,000 on coaches, courses, consultants, people to help me grow my business. And this is because I really value what goes into my head. You know, it's really easy when you first wake up in the morning to just, you know, flip up your phone and get on YouTube and just look at whatever's recommended, you know, watch the latest PewDiePie video or something like that, right? It's really easy to do that. But I recommend you turn off anything that doesn't help you somehow. Do not take in content that does not perform a certain purpose for your life or doesn't have some form of valuable information in it. Whether it's, you know, someone who is where you are at in life or where you want to get to in life that is speaking to you in terms of advice or things that you should implement or whatever, or if it's a course you're going through or books or audio books or anything like that, just do not randomly browse. You know, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, cut them out. Get social media out of your life. For a long time, actually, I think it was the month of September, I actually got rid of my cell phone entirely and used a flip phone for the entire month and just kind of purged my brain of a lot of these, you know, typical stimuluses that you get like with Instagram, social media. And frankly, I'm back on Instagram, I'm back on social media now. And even as I'm recording this video right now, I've got a little bit of that brain fog. I've got a little bit of that feeling of, you know, like, you know, kind of distraction and kind of that feeling of, you know how it is when you've been on your phone for a while, it kind of gives you that feeling of, almost that feeling of like, I don't know how to say it other than brain fog. And you want to avoid that brain fog because it will prevent you from making decisions that help you, right? So even right now, as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking, man, I should probably ditch the phone again and use the flip phone for another month because it's really easy to get hooked on it. So social media, general like content of any kind, television, Netflix, the news, oh my gosh, cut out the news. The news is cancerous. It's just a deadly virus. I don't care if you're right wing, left wing, I could care less. Get Fox, CNN, and MSNBC, you know, I don't care. Get it all out of your system. Politics is just not worth your time, I guarantee it. It's just sucking up so much of your energy, sucking up so much of your time, and it's forcing you to really honestly be a sheep and think like the, you know, Big Brother kind of wants you to think. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but there are people who try to control the public using fear and using different tactics, and it works really well. So just get it out of your brain. Do not watch the news. Do not use your Netflix account. Do not watch, you know, what everybody else is watching. Be very, very, very picky about what you put into your brain because you got to understand that whatever hangs out up here, you know, comes out and it ends up creating your life. So if you filled your brain with crap, you're going to have a crap life. This is just how it works. You know, outputs derive from inputs. Whatever you put into the microphone when you're speaking into it is going to come out of the speaker. Whatever, you know, you eat, you are made of that thing. It's the same thing with your brain. If you take in inputs like, you know, fear-mongering news stations and random Instagram influencers with an agenda and, you know, your friends on Facebook and, you know, random YouTube videos from YouTubers, you're just not going to be able to produce, you're not going to be able to be as productive and as happy of a person as you would be otherwise. Honestly, I am a happier person when I do not have these influences. I'd rather you listen and learn and watch nothing than you know, be constantly filling your brain with this crap. So cut it out. If you have to do a full purge, I recommend it. Get a flip phone, dip your iPhone for a month, go 30 days like I did. It was totally worth it. And it will really, really, really help. Okay, so we're going on to the next habit down. I've actually got a few more. I know this video is called 3 habits, but as I'm talking, I'm coming up with more and I want to share more. So hopefully you're cool if I go over the intended 3. So the next habit is, it's back in the physical realm. It's back in biology, you know, with sleep, and it's exercise. Cardiovascular health is huge, for your mood, for your ability to think and process. So recommend running or, more high intensity workouts in the gym using weights. You have to do this at least every other day. And I know it sounds grueling. It sounds like, oh my gosh, Trey, you're telling me to track my sleep, get rid of social media, and go to the gym every day. Holy frick, this is a lot. Well, you don't need to do this all at once. Just slowly build into this. There's no reason for you to, do these things all at once. You're going to collapse under that pressure. Just start small. Start with one visit to the gym a week on a Sunday or something like that. Or, and this is if you're a total beginner, you haven't really worked on these things before. Just one visit a week. Learn to enjoy it. Have a healthy but good snack, something that you can reward yourself after the gym, something that, you can kind of treat as like a reward system. And honestly, that's what I did. Like when I first started entrepreneurship and I first started my business and I first started kind of working on myself like this, I used my favorite coffee shop at the time, which actually became a client for my marketing agency, interestingly enough. And I would just go there and I would order this like green tea or like a chai latte or something like that, and just, enjoy myself. I would go to the gym, work out hard, I would work on my business, and then I would enjoy a nice coffee. And it would probably be like 1 or 2 p.m. at that point. So, I could have caffeine at that time without affecting my sleep, which I've always been very conscious of. So exercise, making sure that you're actually moving your body. It's really hard to be in a bad mental state when you are up and moving, when you're listening to music, when you're enjoying yourself. And I know that some people, they've got different issues that they struggle with. They've got all kinds of, crazy, even mental issues. Like my mother, she's got post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, all these things. And it's really hard for her to get on a good routine, but I can almost guarantee you that if you eat well, sleep well, and exercise, all kinds of problems will be alleviated, even these mental problems. This is a direct study between, anxiety and depression, and even in some extreme cases, suicide and lack of sleep. And it's just a really sad thing that in our modern culture, we're not valuing sleep and exercise as much as we should. So sleep, exercise well, and eat well. In terms of eating well, just don't eat sugary crap and you should be fine. Cut out soda, cut out sugary crap, you're gonna be good. All right, so moving on to the next habit, it's relational. And this is, how I structure my relationships in my life. And this is a really interesting thing. I think a lot of, especially young men, who might mostly watch this channel are having a hard time with how do I establish a life? How do I establish friend circles? All these things when I'm working on my business and such. And I'll be honest, by most people's standards, I spend a lot of time alone. I don't mind it. I'm an introvert. I enjoy the time alone. I work on my business. I'm here in my apartment alone, probably 6 to 7 hours a day, just working away. Though I do take meetings on occasion, probably 3 or 4 a day with clients or things like that. I spend most of my time alone working on my business, and I've optimized my life for that. So you got to figure out, what do you want to optimize for? Are you wanting to get married? Do you want a girlfriend, a boyfriend? Do you want, a lot of friends, a few friends? What do you want? Once you know what you want, the core rule is do not invite anyone into your life that hasn't earned their way into your life. Have boundaries. A really, really good book that I recommend, and hopefully my editor will leave a link in the description. If not, somebody leave a comment, is a book called Boundaries. And it talks about, how to know when it's okay or not okay to have somebody in your life, and how to know when to cut them out, how to know when to include them. And a cutout does not have to be this, big fallout of I can't have you in my life anymore, or something dramatic like that. It can just be, you're realizing that they're probably not that good for you, and you just slowly start to create some distance without hurting any feelings. I've done it before. It's very normal. You have to be very selective of the people in your life. You really only want people in your life who check you, check your attitude, they check your, your perspective, they make sure that you're on track with your goals, and they're helpful, and they're not just hype people. They genuinely care about you and will check you and make sure that you are doing well in life, okay? And you can do the same for them. Whether it's friends or family or a romantic relationship, that's kind of my criteria, is that, there's honesty, that people are able to communicate, and that, when I'm being a jerk, I'm called out, and that when they're being a jerk, I can call them out on it as well, okay? So that's kind of my criteria for who I allow into my life. In terms of my social circles, it's really just me and my girlfriend. I've got a lot of clients and people that I do business with, and I consider them to be great friends as well. I'm going to be renting an Airbnb somewhere out in Mexico for 2 weeks soon, and just isolating and working on my business with some of them. So it's a lot of fun. And then I've got my immediate family, the family that I grew up in. I've got 4 siblings, my mom, my dad, 1 older brother, and then 3 younger siblings, and I'll hang out with them on occasion. It's a very, very simple lifestyle. I've really optimized my life for working on the things that really matter to me, which right now is my business, it's my company, and scaling this thing up. So I've really built a structure in my life that allows me to do that. So hopefully this video has been valuable to you. I'm trying to think of if there's any more that I think are important. Oh yeah, okay, there is one more actually. There's one more habit that I want to hit, and that's spending habits, and that's where your money should go. So here's my case for spending money. You need to find a way where every single dollar you spend could potentially make you more money later. So even luxury items. So like for example, this is a $9,500 Rolex. It's called a Submariner. For those of you who are into watches, and I'm actually doing a video on this watch soon. It's a beautiful watch. I just got it recently. But this is not just $9,500 down the drain. I got it at retail price, and aftermarket it cost about $17,000. So I've actually made money on this watch. So it's not just money down the drain. And then, when I first moved out of my parents' house, I moved into this beautiful, luxurious apartment. And this one is still really, really nice. But the one I had this huge loft and like giant 30-foot windows and all these things. And it was $3,500 a month, but I ran it through the business. And I also used it as, marketing leverage. I had clients out. I closed a lot of deals in my living room, stuff like that. So I found ways to leverage that even and kind of use it as a business asset. So finding ways to spend money that make you more money. It's one thing to just spend money on clothes or, shopping or, going out with friends or whatever. But you want to make sure that when you're spending money, you can at least in some way justify or make it make sense on paper that spending of that money will make you more money later. And that's a really, really important thing. So right now I'm actually looking at a really nice car. I'm looking at a Jaguar F-Type. It's a 2017. It's a $40,000 car. I'll probably be buying it in cash, if not leasing it, and that way I can run it through the business and save a lot on taxes, okay? And that car, honestly, frankly, it's been a dream car for a really, really long time. And also, I want to be able to pick up clients from the airport in a really nice ride instead of a Honda Civic, okay? And so there's different reasons why I can justify that car, right? So it's not just money down the drain. Actually, the car will probably retain its value over the 6 months to 8 months that I want to own it. If I lease it and run it through the business that way, I can save a lot on taxes. And actually, I can just park, $40,000 in that car, or however much I end up pouring into it. Maybe more like $18,000 to $22,000. Just park that cash in that car and sell the car when I need the cash back, right? So that way, I'm not losing money. So, if anything, you want to make sure that you are not losing money when you spend your money, okay? The main money sucker for my life is my rent. Rent is the main thing. It's $2,700 a month to rent out this apartment. And though I really like it and it's really enjoyable, it is the one expense that I look at whenever it comes through and I have that bill hit my email. I'm like, that's that really is just money down the drain. Because I can't really leverage this apartment other than, maybe the environment that it gives me. I really love the windows. It gives me a good mood, which maybe helps me close more sales calls. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to directly justify it. So you just want to make sure that when you're spending money, it is not being lost immediately, that it is at least holding its value, if not appreciating. And that's why I like watches. That's why I like smart car purchases. And that's why I like pouring a lot of my money back into my business where it belongs. On paper, Trey Cockrum is, a very low net worth individual, but my business is a high creator of cash and capital, and pretty much everything that I do is run through my business. So it's a really easy way of living life, and it keeps things very simple in terms of taxes and on paper, and it's a really good habit to build long term if you're wanting to make sure that you build and protect your wealth. Is to not be too much of a spender. And if you are going to spend on things that make you your money back. Don't go out and buy Gucci. Don't buy a pair of shoes that you're going to wear and ruin. Don't do crap like that. Don't buy a car new off the lot that's going to waste you, 30, 40, 50, 80 grand the second you drive it off the lot. These sorts of things are stupid. But if you're going to enjoy luxuries, which I think every entrepreneur, every high performer deserves a luxury or two, do it in a way where you can save your money. You don't lose the money, but you might not gain it either. It just parks the money in that asset for a moment. All right, well, anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Hopefully these have been valuable tips and habits and things that you can build into your life as you grow your business, as you become a greater entrepreneur or performer or whatever it might be. Look, before I end this video, I want to offer you a free one-to-one consult regarding growing your business, whether you're an agency owner, consultant, coach, whatever it might be. Even if you're not one of those things, you're just getting started, I still recommend that you book a call and see if me or my team can't help you scale whatever it is that you're trying to start or whatever you've already got going. We've had some people that literally crossed $100,000 a month from just a few grand a month working with us. So we've been able to help a lot of people really grow their businesses, and it's been a lot of fun. So hopefully you're next in line. Go ahead and schedule your call down below, and I'd love to speak with you. Thanks once again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.